The Scandalous and Surprising Life of Jack Kemp. Jack Kemp, a former NFL quarterback turned politician, is best remembered for his dynamic influence in the Republican Party and his push for supply-side economics. However, Kemp's life wasn't just about policy and football, it was also marked by controversies, rumors, and fascinating personal anecdotes. Here are 10 of the most scandalous, shocking, and intriguing facts about Jack Kemp, revealing a more complex portrait of the man behind the public persona. Fact number 1. A young athlete with political ambitions. Jack French Kemp was born on July 13, 1935, in Los Angeles, California, into a family with a rich cultural background. His father owned a trucking company and was active in the Jewish community, although Kemp himself was raised as a Christian Scientist. From an early age, Kemp exhibited exceptional athletic abilities, particularly in football. At Occidental College, he played as a star quarterback, showcasing not just physical prowess but also leadership qualities that would later define his political career. Kemp majored in physical education and political science, where he began to cultivate a deep interest in the workings of government and policy. His time at Occidental was not just about football, he was deeply involved in debates and discussions on governance, laying the groundwork for his future political aspirations. Kemp married Joanne Main in 1958, and the couple had 4 children: Jeffrey, Jennifer, Judith, and James. Despite his public persona as a family man, whispers about his strained relationship with his children due to the relentless demands of his career persisted, though these claims were never substantiated. Number 2. The NFL star with a controversial stance on racial issues. Kemp's professional football career was marked by his role as a quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, where he led the team to 2 AFL championships in 1964 and 1965. But it wasn't just his on-field achievements that caught attention. Kemp became a notable advocate for civil rights during a time when such positions were not commonly held by white athletes. He publicly supported his African American teammates, including stars like Cookie Gilchrist, and pushed for the integration of not just the league, but also the broader sports community. Kemp's outspoken stance, however, often placed him at odds with more conservative circles, particularly those within the political sphere he would later join. Some critics viewed his advocacy as politically motivated, questioning whether his civil rights support was genuine or a calculated move to gain favor with a broader electorate. Despite the controversy, Kemp remained steadfast in his beliefs, stating, "I wasn't there to make a political statement, I was there to play football and stand by my teammates." Number 3. Political rise amid accusations of cronyism. Kemp transitioned from the gridiron to the halls of Congress in 1970, when he was elected as a representative for New York's 39th district. His swift rise in politics was often attributed to his connections with powerful figures in the Republican Party, including Ronald Reagan, whom Kemp admired and sought to emulate. Critics accused Kemp of benefiting from cronyism, pointing to his close relationships with influential figures like House Minority Leader Gerald Ford and Richard Nixon's advisors. These accusations of favoritism dogged Kemp throughout his political career, with opponents arguing that his legislative successes were more a product of his well-placed allies than his own political acumen. Kemp's involvement in key policy discussions, including his advocacy for supply-side economics, was often overshadowed by these claims, casting a lingering shadow over his achievements. Number 4. The supply-side economics controversy. As a fervent advocate for supply-side economics, Kemp became the driving force behind the 1981 Kemp-Roth tax cut, a cornerstone of Ronald Reagan's economic policy. The legislation, which aimed to spur economic growth by reducing tax rates across the board, was hailed by supporters as a bold step towards revitalizing the American economy. However, the policy also attracted significant criticism, particularly from those who argued that it disproportionately benefited the wealthy while exacerbating income inequality. Kemp's role as the architect of this economic strategy led to heated debates, with critics pointing to the ballooning national debt and the widening gap between rich and poor as evidence of the policy's flaws. Defenders of Kemp's approach, however, argue that the economic growth spurred by the tax cuts far outweighed the negatives, with Kemp himself stating, "I believe the best way to help the poor is to help the economy grow." Number 5. A vice presidential bid clouded by controversy. In 1996, Jack Kemp was chosen as Bob Dole's running mate in the Republican bid for the presidency. Kemp's selection was seen by many as a strategic move to inject youth and energy into a campaign that had struggled to gain momentum. However, the campaign was fraught with internal divisions, with reports suggesting that Kemp often clashed with Dole's team over the direction of the campaign. Kemp's independent streak and focus on promoting his own policy ideas sometimes put him at odds with the campaign's overall strategy, leading to tensions that were widely reported in the media. Additionally, Kemp's selection was criticized by some as a desperate attempt to appeal to younger voters and the more moderate wing of the Republican Party, rather than a reflection of genuine confidence in his qualifications. The campaign's eventual loss led to a postmortem within the party, with some pointing fingers at Kemp for the failure, though others argued that the campaign was doomed from the start. Number 6. The Housing Secretary and the Scandalous Allegations. After his vice presidential bid, Kemp was appointed as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development (HUD) by President George H.W. Bush in 1989. Kemp's tenure at HUD was marked by ambitious plans to reform public housing and promote homeownership among low-income families. However, his efforts were not without controversy. Allegations of mismanagement and favoritism arose, with critics accusing Kemp of prioritizing projects that benefited politically connected developers rather than the communities in need. The most significant scandal involved a housing project in Chicago, where Kemp was accused of ignoring warnings about the project's feasibility and pushing it forward due to pressure from Republican donors. Although no formal charges were brought against him, the scandal tarnished Kemp's reputation and cast a shadow over his legacy as a public servant. Number 7. The Mysterious Decline in Health. In the final years of his life, Jack Kemp's health began to deteriorate, leading to widespread speculation about his condition. Kemp, once known for his athletic physique and energetic presence, became visibly frail, prompting rumors of a severe illness. Despite his declining health, Kemp remained active in public life, making appearances and delivering speeches, although he increasingly looked gaunt and fatigued. Kemp and his family chose to keep his medical condition private, fueling further speculation. It wasn't until after his death on May 2, 2009, that it was revealed Kemp had been battling prostate cancer for several years. His decision to keep his illness a secret shocked many of his admirers and colleagues, who had no idea of the severity of his condition. Kemp's passing marked the end of a public life that had spanned sports, politics, and advocacy, leaving behind a legacy marked by both achievements and unanswered questions. Number 8. The Financial Struggles Behind the Scenes. Despite his successful career in both sports and politics, Kemp faced significant financial difficulties throughout his life. Public records revealed that Kemp struggled with managing his finances, leading to substantial debt and legal issues. Some reports suggested that Kemp's financial troubles were exacerbated by poor investment choices and the costs associated with maintaining his public image. These financial struggles were a stark contrast to the confident, successful persona he projected in public, adding a layer of complexity to his life story. Number 9. The Controversial Endorsements. Kemp's post-political career was marked by several controversial endorsements, which some saw as inconsistent with his previous stances. He endorsed various political figures and causes that seemed at odds with his earlier positions, leading to accusations of opportunism. Critics argued that Kemp was more interested in staying relevant in the political arena than adhering to his principles. These endorsements damaged his credibility among some of his longtime supporters, who felt betrayed by his seemingly contradictory actions. Number 10. The Legacy Debate. Jack Kemp's legacy is a subject of ongoing debate. While some view him as a champion of conservative economic policies and civil rights, others criticize him for his perceived failures and controversies. Kemp's influence on the Republican Party, particularly his role in shaping modern conservative thought, is undeniable. However, the scandals, controversies, and rumors that surrounded his life and career continue to complicate his legacy, leaving historians and political analysts divided on how he should be remembered.